Hey Cable Cubs, Mrs. Hoffer here for this Thursday's math lesson. Friends, after today's lesson, you should know how to compare the capacity of objects. You will understand how to describe capacity using the phrases holds more, holds less, and holds equal amounts. And you'll be able to compare objects' capacities to see which objects holds more, which object holds less, and which objects hold equal amounts. Friends, let's start today's quick lesson by doing a short review. Tell me, Cubs, what have we been learning all about in this unit? Measurement. That's right, friends. Good job. And all different forms of non-standard measurement like length, height, weight, and capacity. Length, we learned, is the measurement from side to side of an object. And we learned non-standard forms of measurement for length such as Unifix cubes and paper clips. And height is the measurement from base to tip top of the object. And we also used non-standard forms of measurement for height, like Unifix cubes and paper clips. Cable Cubs. Weight, we learned, is the heaviness and pull of an object towards the ground. While we learned yesterday that capacity is the amount that can fit inside a container. So, friends, if we're going to measure the containers on the screen, what form of measurement would we be using? Capacity. That's right, Cable Cubs. Like I just mentioned, capacity is the measurement of all the material that can fit inside a container. So, for example, the capacity of this container might be the total amount of pretzels that fit inside. The capacity of this container would be the total amount of pasta that fits inside. And this one for chocolate chips and so forth with all of these different containers. A good thing to use, whether it be a liquid or a solid when comparing capacities, is a material that takes up the most amount of space. Like, for example, the sugar, or like sand that we'd find on a beach. Because there's going to be no space left over, if we use sugar to fill all of these different containers, we'd know the true capacities, and we'd be able to see which holds more, which holds less, and if the containers are equal in capacities. Like we learned yesterday, friends, capacity is the total amount a container can fit inside itself. And containers are anything that can fit material inside themselves, Cable Cubs. Like the jars we just saw on the last page that held pantry items like chocolate chips and pasta, and the pool we see on this page that holds a lot of water to go swimming in. The total amount of water that fills this pool would be considered its capacity, Cable Cubs. We could fill the pool up with solid material like sand or marbles to measure the capacity too, of course. But if we did that, then the pool wouldn't be ready for swimming. Friends, while a small container, another type of container that we could use to compare capacities around our home is the spoons from our kitchen. Just like we see here, the spoon is filled with medicine to make us feel better when we're sick. And the amount of medicine inside the spoon is its capacity. We could compare the capacities of a spoon of all different shapes and sizes to see which holds more, which holds less, or if the spoons around our homes hold equal amounts. Friends, when comparing capacities, we learn different words we can use to compare and describe the capacities of the containers. So let's practice on these 3 coffee cups. Friends, this cup is filled to the top, all the way to the top, and this is filled only about halfway. So friends, if this one is holding more, what would we say about it? That's right, friends. We'd say that it holds more. And what about this cup of coffee? That's right, it holds less. Friends, while we didn't really talk about this one yesterday, tell me, do you think that this cup that is spilling everywhere has passed its capacity? Yes, Keeble Cubs, that's right. It is past its capacity. Because it is spilling everywhere, we know that all that can fit inside the container is up. So every bit of coffee that fits inside this cup is already full. And because we passed the capacity of the container, it started to overflow because the container can only hold a certain amount of coffee. Now, friends, we're going to do a quick comparison of our own. Another great example of something fun and easy to compare capacities of around our homes is cereal boxes. Keeble Cubs, which box do you think is going to hold more? That's right, friends. The yellow box of Cheerios will hold more and have the bigger capacity. Because the boxes are the same shape and the yellow Cheerio box is a lot bigger in both height and width, it's a great guess that the Cheerio box has a bigger capacity than that of the red Fruit Loops box, which will likely hold a lot less cereal because it is a smaller container. Friends, remind me, if the Cheerio box holds more, what do we say about the Fruit Loops box? That's right, Keeble Cubs. We would say that it holds less. Good job. All right, friends. These containers of jelly beans are both full. Tell me, which do you think has the bigger capacity? The large container with pink beans or the smaller container with rainbow beans? That's right, Keeble Cubs. The jar of pink jelly beans has more capacity, so it holds more because it is larger in size. So what would we say about the rainbow jar of jelly beans, Keeble Cubs? That's right, friends. We would say that it holds less. And friends, what if it was 2 jars of these rainbow jelly beans right here? What if it was 2 identical jars of these rainbow jelly beans? What would we say about those 2 jars and their capacities? That's right, Cubs. Good job. We would say that those 2 identical jars hold equal amounts of jelly beans. Good job, friends. All right, Keeble Cubs, that is all the time we have for today's math lesson. Keep up the fantastic work, and I'll see you tomorrow.